Coming up in news are weather forecasts call for safety with the onset of more rains. Residents call for greater protection against future floods. And in Kenya, a bill to allow for rotated presidency among leading ethnic communities before Parliament. Hello, good evening. Welcome to News Hour, live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Shirley Annan.
And I am Micheline Taka. We start off in the capital, Accra. The Ghana Meteorological Agency has warned that the rains will continue a while longer. In this vein, the agency has advised the public to avoid fast-flowing water, move from lower ground to higher places if need be. The agency wants that teachers and parents should pay particular attention to school children. They also advise motorists to avoid speeding and put on their headlights. The public is advised to take precautionary measures in all circumstances.
Meanwhile, flooding continues to be a problem in Accra, and residents are calling for greater protection against future floods. The government is being asked to protect the public from the effects of the weather by investing more in flood defenses, including the construction of bigger drains and the silting waterways and water bodies. Rains on Thursday submerged roads and left many places in Accra underwater. The Ghana Meteorological Agency is predicting more rains, a development that has led to some to call for a new national road resilience plan.
Odoko to Dansoman Junction, Kaneshi Circle and Yobeche Bilamte Circle were all submerged. The situation led to a build-up of traffic and many commuters were left stranded. Traders and shop owners in the affected areas have counted their losses, a situation that has now become the norm rather than the exception. At the Circle Overhead Bridge, some commuters sought refuge on top of the bridge. A makeshift station has been created opposite the Ghana Revenue Office. Behind the total filling station around Asylum Down, the roads were submerged. The Tetekwashi roundabout was a scene of chaos. Motorists, bikers and commuters who jostled for space amid the traffic gridlock brought on by the floods. This continuous flooding after every rainfall is now proving a thorn in the side of the city, leading many to call for a permanent solution to the problem, which should include an intense education campaign to get residents of Accra to dispose of litter properly and prevent the silting of the drains.
Repair works by the Urban Road Department, which started in earnest to scrap off all the concrete remnants, have been replicated on almost all asphalt road in the capital. 13 mobile concrete haulage companies within Accra were surcharged to bear the cost. This is in response to reports by GBC24 a month ago on the activities of mobile concrete haulage companies, which mar the beauty of roads. A report by Shelley Bewa.
Certain roads in the capital were gradually deteriorating due to the menace. Often an unassuming act, a number of asphalt roads in the capital suffered this fate. Thankfully, the concrete remnants, which was most evident at traffic light stops, junctions and roads near construction sites, have been cleared. The supervisory agency, the Urban Roads Department, under the Ministry of Roads and Highways, scraped off all the patches. In comparison, this is how the runabout opposite Good House at Kalkudi looks like after the repair works. The Liberation and Patrice Lumumba Road towards Association International School now looks better. The Shiashi Junction also benefited from the works. Motorists can now drive on these stretches free from all the concrete patches on the asphalt roads. Once there are construction companies in town, spillovers are to be expected, but the million-dollar question is, what lasting solution can be found to the menace created by these mobile concrete haulage companies so that it does not reoccur or left unattended to for years? Meanwhile, a drive through town revealed that islands on the roads were created for two main reasons. The first one, to divide the road, and secondly, to add to aesthetic beauty of the city, but all have been left unattended to. Weeds have totally taken over these grounds. The rains have started, and if the grasses and the trees planted on the island are to grow nice, the outgrown ones must be cleared. The relevant agencies must not allow Accra to lose its shine among national capitals. A stitch in time, they say, saves 9. For GBC24, Shelley Bewa reporting.
African Union Border Day has been marked at Aplau, home to one of the country's busiest border crossings. The event places emphasis on the need for African governments to improve border infrastructure to international standards and better secure their boundaries. Africa's borders are usually porous and often divide people. The desire to buy and sell goods across borders creates endless opportunities for smuggling, tax evasion, and cross-border crime.
People migrate around the world through borders for various reasons, including seeking greener pastures, opportunities, and better life. Others are forced by disasters and conflicts to migrate. Most borders in Africa are poorly demarcated and confronted with infrastructural and human resource challenges. Besides, immigration and customs law vary from country to country. The African Union member states, having realized these challenges, therefore adopted a number of political and legal instruments to guide their efforts in the management of border issues. This led to the creation of the Joint Border Project at Mwepe in Togo, where border officials from Ghana and Togo work hand in hand. The African Union Day celebration was instituted in 2007 by the AU Commission to be celebrated by the 54 member states on the 7th of June every year. The aim is to foster unity through strengthening of cross-border cooperation and capacity building to enhance border management. The Lome Sector Commander of the Togolese Immigration Service, Inspector TDA Jan, pledged the Togolese government support to ensure the total success of the program. The acting deputy director in charge of operations at the Ghana Immigration Service, Bonaventure Agotimevo, urged African governments to educate their citizens on the need to integrate the continent by transforming artificial barriers into bridges for good neighborliness.
Most countries have introduced the use of technology and military accoutrement in securing their borders. It is our fervent hope that Ghana's border infrastructure will be improved to meet international standards and together secure our boundaries.
The African Union has set itself the target of having all interstate borders delimited and demarcated by the end of next year.
The implementation of the country's new long-term development plan will begin from 2018 and is expected to run till 2057. The architects of the plan, the National Development Planning Commission, have divided the 40-year plan into 4 medium terms, with each term spanning a decade. The reason for the breakup is to enable every generation and government the opportunity to contribute to the national socio-economic transformation.
According to the Constitutional Review Commission, the new long-term development plan should be vetted and approved by Parliament to make it binding on successive governments. In the case of political parties, the plan is expected to provide them with a level playing field in the preparation of their manifestos, so as to tie them to national development plans, aspirations and vision. The Director General of the NDPC, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, explained why Ghana has chosen to make a development plan with a lifespan of 40 years.
The plan is progressing well. The plan will begin in 2018, but even before then we need some institutional reforms, policy reforms and all that. But the plan itself will officially start. And I'm happy to say that the political parties are all behind it.
He said some of the strategic goals for the long-term plan include the building of smart cities. Slides depicting how the future of Kumasi, Accra, Black Star Stadium, railway stations, among others, were shown. The chairman of the commission, Professor Kwesi Botwe, gave an overview of where the country is in its development process.
We discussed quite a bit the importance of infrastructure planning, infrastructure and spatial planning. One particular issue that appeared to resonate with everybody was the need to ensure that there is the necessary attitudinal change in us as the people.
Ghana's 40-year development plan is coming at a time the African Union has rolled a 50-year development plan, which will end in 2063.
The Agricultural Development Bank is now a TV license fee collection pay point. This means TV owners and dealers can now walk into any of the bank's 78 branches across the country to pay their TV license fee. The head of corporate banking at the bank, ADB, Mr. Kwesi Afrebaini, is promising a smooth and no-hassle system of collection.
The inclusion of the Agricultural Development Bank ADB adds up to 20 the number of banks that have signed on to the TV license collection drive. At the launch of the pay point at the ADB's headquarters in Accra, the head of corporate banking, Mr. Kwesi Afrebaini, said ADB is happy to partner GBC in the TV license collection drive.
For us as a bank, it's both a commercial and a social responsibility as well. We believe that our customers should be able to walk into our banking halls to do their banking business and to do all other payments that they need to make. Our platform allows for the payment of TV license as we've decided to launch today. Just as the bank has decided to partner and to make this effective for the media, let all of us as citizens of this country take this as a responsibility and make the necessary payments to build the media who are partners in development.
Mr. Felix Okai Amankwa is the assistant head of TV license at GBC.
You can make payment through your mobile phone using star 718 star 28 hash. And you can make payment anywhere, anytime.
Other banks that are also collecting the TV license include GCB Bank, First Atlantic Bank, Cal Bank, Unibank, Access Bank, Prudential Bank, Zenith Bank, and the Universal Merchants Bank.
There is a heightened concern about the increasing lack of employment, especially for women. The Vocational Training for Females VTF program, in response to the high unemployment rate among the youth in Ghana, particularly among females, has organized a career fair for girls in technical vocational training in Accra. The director of the VTF program, Mrs. Linda Ajay, says their mission is to provide females with employable skills for decent living.
Vocational Training for Females VTF program was initiated in 1992 by the Association of Protestant Churches and Presbyterian Church of Ghana in response to the high unemployment rate among the youth in Ghana, particularly among females. Their mission is to equip women with employable skills for decent livelihoods. At a career fair organized by the Vocational Training for Females program, the director of VTF, Mrs. Linda Ajay, said the notion that there are no job opportunities in the country would be a thing of the past if many young people turn attention to vocational and technical fields.
TVET refers to the learning pathways which aim at equipping people with knowledge, or better still, it provides individuals with specific skills for employment. It is inherent in itself the potential for employment creation.
The Executive Director of the Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, COTVET, appealed to metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies as well as parents to put in place a policy for the young to acquire at least a vocational or technical skill by the age of 18. Promoting self-employment by facilitating business ventures of graduates in the informal sector is one of the priorities of the VTF program. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Employers Association, Mr. Alex Frimpong, and the National Treasurer of the Association of Ghana Industries, Mrs. Lydia Osafo-Addo, encourage women artisans to concentrate on their work to win the respect of society. The CEO of Lanes Services, Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan, said through the acquisition of vocational and technical skills, many girls can improve their socio-economic conditions. The Vocational Training for Females program has trained many dressmakers, hairdressers, caterers, welders, florists, and customer care providers.
We go for a quick break. We are back with business news. Do stay with us.
Good evening, it's time to talk business. My name is Esther Edu Ohumo. EcoBank Transnational Incorporated ETI profits after tax in 2015 stood at $107 million as against the 2014 figure of $395 million. This means profit after tax went down by $288 million within the period. Management of ETI attributes the development to the slump witnessed on the commodity markets, including oil. This was disclosed by the group CEO of EcoBank Transnational, Ade Ayeyemi, when the company took its turn at the facts behind the figures at the Ghana Stock Exchange in Accra.
EcoBank Transnational is a Pan-African banking group with banking operations in 36 African countries. It is the leading independent regional banking group in West and Central Africa, with subsidiaries in the Eastern and Southern Africa. ETI has offices in Angola, China, Dubai, France, and in the UK. The presence of the company can be felt in more than 1,200 branches and with 11.1 million customers patronizing its numerous services. ETI is listed on 3 major stock markets. These are South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. The company's asset base stands at $23.6 billion as at May 2016. By the close of the 2015 financial year, ETI's net revenue had dropped from $2,280 million in 2014 to $2,106 million in 2015. ETI's impairment losses increased by 99% from $267 million to $532 million. The directors of ETI attributed the drop in revenue performance for 2015 to the depreciation in the value of the Naira, the Cedi, and the CFA franc, as well as the economic challenges the continent witnessed in 2015. The group CEO of ETI, Ade Ayeyemi, said this year the company aims at becoming a market leader in all the 36 countries it is operating in.
We want to maximize the value of our portfolios. Now, when we talk about portfolio as a bank, those are the loans that we have. The value of those loans we want to maximize. We would not just give loan to customers because the customer asks for a loan. We lend into a business. The business asks lots of other products that we can sell to the customer. And that is the way that we'll be able to generate return, good return on those loans. We know that Nigeria is a market where we generate 40% of our revenue. And therefore, we must win in Nigeria. If we don't win in Nigeria, then there's a problem. We must win in Nigeria as an organization. It's 40%, it's large, it's dominant. If we win there, then we have enough resources to be able to lift the rest of the group up. And we are very, very focused on making sure that we win.
The head Group Financial Reporting for ETI, Ayo Adepoju, outlined the targets for ETI for 2016.
From a balance sheet perspective, our deposit, we expect it to grow at 2% in 2016 in US dollar terms. Our net loans on an aggregate basis, we expect it to be flat on a year-on-year basis. It doesn't mean that we're going to be flat across all the countries where we're operating. There are some countries where we see some opportunities in the market, we'll take advantage of them. We'll see some growth in some market. There are some where we'll rather preserve our capital. Now, coming down to the impact on our numbers, the P&L side, revenue, because of the fact that we're not growing a loan book, we expect our revenue to be flat. So we expect to do revenue in the range of $2 billion.
One of the challenges facing the African continent is unemployment, but ATI has paid its dues in the job market, and now it can boast of 19,000 workers.
To host the ECOWAS Industrial Forum in July, the Minister for Trade and Industry, Ecos Gabra, said Ghana has a conducive climate needed for industries to thrive. The forum will highlight Ghana's industrial potential to Africa and the larger world. Ghana's industrial sector accounts for about 22% of GDP and consists of mainly manufacturing, mining and construction. The ECOWAS Industrial Forum, to be held next month in Accra, is expected to promote Ghana's industrial capabilities. The Minister for Trade and Industry, Ecos Gabra, said that all industries depend on power, and that is the challenge being faced by the Commander Sugar Factory, although it has not shut down.
We have had some difficulty with having access to direct power from the ECG. And I've been using some generators and transformers which don't give them all the power they need. So it is not a fault of the factory that they have that problem. It is just the challenge we have in the power sector as a whole, which all of us endure in our homes, in our offices, when power goes off from time to time. So the factory is also enduring that. But you know, factories are very unique because they must have consistent power. So just imagine that a sugar factory needs to produce sugar in a manner which allows the sugar cane and the liquid to move at a certain pace, to be heated, to be cooled, and to go through about 20 different processes before the crystals that are called sugar are produced. If you don't get power at a certain point and the liquids either do not get to the right heat or cannot get to the right lower temperature, then you won't get the so-called sugar that is the crystals at the end.
Before the forum, there will be consultations with free zones boards in the sub-region to deliberate on how to make the free zones attractive. The Industrial Forum will be held on the 21st of July, with the Ghana-China Investment Forum to be held on the 22nd of July. On the interbank market, the pound sterling is selling at 5 cedis 63 pesos, while the dollar is trading at 3 cedis 86 pesos. And on the commodity market, light crude lost 38 cents to trade at $50.85 per barrel. The insurance news is right after the break. Global disasters led to at least $7 billion in claims last month. Canada experienced the costliest natural disaster in May as wildfires caused catastrophic damage to property. The insured loss was estimated to be in excess of $3.1 billion. The fire in the Canadian city of Fort McMurray swept through more than 580,000 hectares of land and destroyed at least 10% of Fort McMurray, including more than 2,400 homes and other structures. Meanwhile, widespread flooding from a storm dubbed Elvira swept across parts of northern Europe between late May and early June, killing at least 17 people. Most damage was seen in Germany, France, Austria, Poland and Belgium, where floods hit many major metropolitan regions, including Paris. Insurance industry associations in France and Germany preliminarily estimated combined minimum claims payouts to exceed $2.3 billion. 5 outbreaks of severe convective storms hit the United States during May when tornadoes affected parts of the Plains, Midwest, and the Mississippi Valley. Storm-related flooding also caused major damage in portions of Texas during the latter part of the month. Total aggregated insured losses were estimated to exceed $1.0 billion. In Asia, Cyclone Ranu brought torrential rainfall to Sri Lanka, Eastern India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and China during May. Widespread flooding and landslides ensued, and at least 105 people were killed in Sri Lanka alone. Nearly 125,000 homes and structures were destroyed and damaged across all 5 countries. The estimated cost of reconstruction was up to $1.7 billion. The insured losses were substantially less given the low insurance penetration in the area. Other major floods and landslide events in May were reported in parts of Kenya, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Rwanda, Ethiopia, India, and Yemen. And that's it for business. Most grateful for your time.
Welcome back. The health news is brought to you by FPAC. Health experts say cleft lip and cleft palate occur in approximately 1 in 700 live births. On the other hand, if an affected parent has a child with cleft lip or palate, the chances of future children experiencing a cleft malformation is high. In view of this, awareness is being created to educate the public on cleft lip and palate and available treatments at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Cleft lip and cleft palate are both defects that occur when a baby's lip or mouth do not form properly. They happen early during pregnancy. The baby can have a cleft lip or cleft palate or both. A cleft lip happens if the tissue that makes up the lip does not join completely before birth. This causes an opening in the upper lip. It may be in the midline or left and right side of the lip. Children with a cleft lip also can have a cleft palate. With a cleft palate, the tissue that makes up the roof of the mouth does not join correctly. Babies may have both the front and back parts of the palate open, or they may have only one part open. Cleft is often associated with speech, hearing defects, feeding difficulties, defective facial growth, and appearance and badly placed teeth. However, to curb this defection, players in the health sector at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital have come together to educate people and also give adequate care delivery to people with clefts.
One, to assure those who are affected that there is a solution. To comfort the mothers. And for me, what is even most beautiful is the smile on the mother's face when their babies and their clefts and their lips are repaired.
We are here to help anybody, child, adult who has cleft.
Doctors usually recommend surgery for such deformities. Cleft lip surgery is usually done before age 12 months, and cleft palate surgery is done before 18 months. Smile Train, a non-governmental organization, is also on board to embark on outreach campaigns to parts of the country that are underserved, particularly to help pay the surgery bills of people with clefts. The Cleft Lip and Palate Management Foundation Ghana appealed to both corporate bodies and individuals to lend their support to their efforts. Again, people with relevant skills can also donate their time and funds and can be sent to account name Cleft Lip and Palate Management Foundation, Bank, Universal Merchant Bank Ghana Limited UMG, Branch, Accra Main, account numbers USD 0000 01 00 19 38, CD account 0000 01 001 91219, or can call the foundation on 020 460 7461 or 020 331 8099. Green Hills School of Health Sciences in Accra and the George Fox University of USA is offering a 5-day free physiotherapy treatment for patients suffering from cerebral palsy and other related disorders that impedes mobility.
Statistics from the Ministry of Health have shown that with a population of over 27 million, 1 out of 300 children in Ghana suffer from cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a disease that affects a person's ability to move. This, according to health experts, is due to the damage to the developing brain either during pregnancy or shortly after birth. Although cerebral palsy is naturally a permanent lifelong condition, the disorder can improve or worsen over time. In addition, people with cerebral palsy may also have visual, learning, hearing, speech, and intellectual impairments. In Ghana, people living with cerebral palsy are often misunderstood and stigmatized, making it very difficult for them to socialize. In a bid to raise public awareness on cerebral palsy, Green Hills School of Health Sciences, in collaboration with Givers Never Lack Foundation, has offered free medical treatment for cerebral palsy patients. 20 experts in physiotherapy from Fox University, USA, together with a medical team in Ghana, rendered free medical treatment for people living with cerebral palsy, especially children. Madame Boatma has a child of 8 years suffering from cerebral palsy.
If it's a man, say, why so to me trance, when to me and trance, on when to me and so I deem, and fat, be I just a what the man.
Another parent, Madame Salome Jokoto, also shared her experience living with a child suffering from cerebral palsy.
I was told she has been affected with the brain. So I'm going to pass through so many things. The schooling too. When we want to go to school, most of the schools don't want to accept her.
An administrator at the Green Hills School of Health Sciences, Mr. Felix Brakatu, stated the reason for holding the exercise.
Some of them in the society that they find themselves, others call them by name. Others would even associate the goddess to the children that they have given birth to. But what I want to tell every parent out there is that it is no fault of the parents of those children.
Mr. Felix Brakatu further urged the public to gladly accept victims suffering from cerebral palsy and avoid all forms of discrimination.
The international news is next.
Welcome back. Now, a bill seeking to lock out candidates from communities that have produced a precedent in the last 50 years from running of the seat is set for tabling in the National Assembly. The proposed law, still in the drafting stages, aims to amend the constitution to allow for the presidency to be rotated among the leading ethnic communities. The sponsor of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2016 said the proposed law would help end the animosity around presidential elections witnessed since independence. If passed, the communities of President Kenyatta and former President Mwai Kibaki and Daniel Arap Moi would not be allowed to present a candidate until after 30 years. The president would govern for only 5 years, as the bill scraps the 2-term limit of 5 years each as indicated in the Constitution. Because the bill seeks to amend the Constitution, it will require 2/3 of MPs and senators to vote for it before it is put to a referendum. The bill does not affect deputy presidents. The Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab says it has killed more than 40 Ethiopian soldiers in an attack on an African Union base in Somalia. The AU mission AMISOM has confirmed the attack but not the casualties and says the enemy was repulsed. AMISOM is supporting the government in its fight to regain control of the country from Al-Shabaab. Ethiopia is one of the 5 countries contributing troops to the 22,000-strong mission, and this is the first time an European and Ethiopian-run AMISOM base has been attacked. We go for a quick break. We are back with Sports Tuesday.
With sports now, and FIFA has presented kits to all the 16 teams participating in the National Women's Football League. This is a boost to the league, which is yet to get a sponsor. The second round of the National Women's Football League is expected to be exciting. This is because teams will get some financial reward from the GFA. At a stakeholders meeting at the headquarters of the Ghana Football Association to review the first round of the 2015-2016 National Women's League and to conduct a draw for the first ever women's knockout competition, the GFA president, Mr. Kusi Nyantichi, assured representatives of the 16 teams of a financial package for the second round and the prize money for the winners of the league.
We're going to offer each club a financial support, and that will come in the form of 5,000 Ghana cedis per club. So each club will get 5,000 Ghana cedis. The executive committee just approved that for you. Now, the winner of the league will get 10,000 Ghana cedis. Then the runner-up of the league will get 5,000 Ghana cedis. We also agree that on the 28th of August, when the final game is played, incidentally, it coincides with the finals of the FA Cup competition. So we'll play the 2 games at the same venue in Cape Coast. Yeah. It's the final one. You play yours first because we want to give priority to women.
The meeting also saw the presentation of some football kits from FIFA to the 16 teams in the league. This is expected to enhance the preparations for the second round of the season. The items include football boots, balls, set of jerseys, shin guards, bibs, among others. Asante Kotoko thrashed Steven Appiah led World 11 by 4-1 at the Barbara Sports Stadium. The game was aimed at promoting and educating Ghanaians on the need for peace and unity before, during, and after the general elections in November.
Star is also going to be introduced, Emil Heskey.
Liverpool legend Emil Heskey recounted his glorious days with a swift turn after a lovely through ball from Appiah saw him hit a low pad drive past Felix Annan in goal for Kotoko. Kotoko's new signing, Emmanuel Osei-Carlos, equalized in the 9 members of the first half.
They passed Rojo and score, and eventually they do score. And it came in from the man who joined them from Ashgold.
Back from the break, fatigue set in for the World 11 as the youthful Kotoko lads capitalized on it to score. Bennett Ofori, nicknamed Cristiano Ronaldo in Kotoko circles, made the game a fiesta for the Kotoko faithfuls present as he scored a hat-trick after replacing Carlos for the commencement of the second half.
Somewhat sure. Number misses it, and it's 5.
The World 11 will head back to Accra and play the Black Stars on Saturday at the Accra Sports Stadium. The encounter will be live on GTV and GTV Sports Plus. Ecuador fought from 2 goals down to secure a draw against Peru. Mali Bologna's 49th minute strike kept the Peru side on course to really pick a point and also enhance their chances of qualifying from Group B. That's all for sports entertainment. Is next.
Entertainment news. My name is Valerie Danso. Yaya is the latest addition to the music industry. She tells GBC24 the biggest difficulty she has had to face as an artist is trying to identify and promote her brand. Her debut single Bossy Girl is officially out and currently enjoying airplay. Next up is the weather report.
The Winko Weather Report, brought to you by Adriane Hene with technical support from the Ghana Meteorological Agency.
Welcome to the Weather Center on Ghana Television. I am Eunice Kweku Tony. The weather report is brought to you by kind courtesy of Adriane Hene. For the past 24 hours, the forest, the hilly and the coastal lines of the country have experienced scattered showering activities. As usual, the affected portions with their corresponding figures are being scrolled right now at the base of your screens. From now till tomorrow morning, we are expecting to experience high humidity affecting most parts of the forest and the coastal portions. Over the transition and the northern portions of the country, we are expecting to experience normal humidity. We are also likely to experience a chance of scattered showers affecting most parts of the country, and this feature is likely to affect areas over Wa, Tumu, Bole, Kintampo, down to Bandai, Techiman, towards Akuse, Asamankese, Ho, Abetifi, Alavanyo, Accra, Pokwase, Takrady, Axim, and all the surrounding areas. For temperatures, we are tracking a range between 23 and 25 degrees Celsius to affect most parts of Ghana. In the afternoon, however, we're going to have a mix of sunshine across the entire country. And this time around, temperatures will rise to a range between 30 and 35 degrees Celsius all over Ghana. And we are still likely to experience some showers over the forest, the coastal, and the hilly areas. Right after now is a 48-hour forecast. Do stay tuned to GTV. Joining me, do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you.
That's all in this package. Thanks for your company.
News tonight is at 10:30. Please make a date. Good evening.